first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom as we do every weekday starting around 1 p.m. and going throughout the afternoon. For this segment, we are going to be talking about something coming up on Sunday, November 24th in part, and that is Free Day at the Portland Art Museum. Free admission for everyone. And the reason they are doing this is in part to celebrate the closing of the Portland Art Museum's exhibit in Venice for Biennale. It's a lot going on right there, but the Biennale is a huge art show that happens every 2 years in Venice. It's one of the biggest in the world, and the U.S.'s representation was chosen to be the Portland Art Museum and a museum from Santa Fe working together. And so they put together the entire exhibit. We're going to be talking to the curator of that exhibit, and she's going to go through just what it was that went into that, how they created it, and what you can expect when you go out there on Sunday to see some of the celebration of this really amazing accomplishment. Let's jump right into it. Here's Kathleen on Fox 12 Now. Well, Kathleen, thank you very much for joining us here today. Excited to talk about this. Obviously, Free Day at the museum. People are going to want to know about that. But this is all in celebration of this exhibit at Biennale in Venice. And can you tell us about maybe just the origin story, just so people know how this all got started?
Sure. I think a lot of people think of this project starting in July when the museum was notified that we were chosen to represent the United States at the U.S. Pavilion in Venice, Italy for this big international exhibition that happens every 2 years. But Jeffrey and I actually started talking about this. I think we're pretty sure we had this conversation in 2007 when we were both there together. I was there working on a different project, and he was a guest of the museum I was working for. And we just thought, wouldn't it be amazing to do this someday together? And it seemed like a crazy idea at the time, and kind of put it on the shelf for many years. And, here it is almost 20 years later, and it's happened.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, and this is a huge thing, too, for people who don't understand. I mean, Biennale is one of the biggest the biggest art events in the world, and to be there, to not only have the U.S. chosen, but then also to be able to curate that. Like, what was that feeling like when you knew you were going to be the one, along with Jeffrey, that was going to be putting this together?
It was a little scary, I have to tell you. When we put the application together, we put so much work into it, and Jeffrey had a very clear vision of what he wanted to accomplish with this exhibition, and we had a very, very well-planned project that we presented. And I think when we submitted it, I was thinking to myself, we might be in trouble. We might actually get this.
This might just be the one, yeah.
Yeah, and getting that news, it was pretty overwhelming. I think for anyone who works with contemporary art, this is kind of one of those dream opportunities, and just very overwhelming to feel like you're going to be doing work that's going to be seen by so many people around the world.
Yeah, so many people all coming through there, seeing what you put together, and it's obviously a pretty amazing work that you have. And I wonder if you could talk about that, what it is that went into this, and what you were representing with all the parts to this.
Right. Well, Jeffrey really wanted to have a conversation with the site. That's one thing that he did that was very important. It's a really interesting building. It was built in 1932, and the architecture is a really strong statement. And rather than covering that up or having that be in contrast to what he was doing inside the building, he decided to incorporate the facade of the building into his vision, but not covering it, having a visual conversation with it. He also really wanted to have a joyful presence in Venice. And, his work really addresses a lot of difficult issues with Native history and relationships between Native people and the U.S. government, and, all these different cultural conflicts that we've had. But he didn't want to dwell on that. And he also wanted to have an expression of Native joy. And inclusiveness, radical inclusivity was definitely a kind of a guiding principle to what he was doing there. And part of that was bringing other artists in to participate in these programs. The dancers who were part of this were really integral to his vision. And we're so excited that we're going to have some of those same dancers who performed in Venice here in Portland on Sunday.
Wow. So they're going to be here in Portland. I mean, and again, that's just speaks to just how incredible this is, you know, of everything that you just incorporated in right there, talking about the building, but having dancers there as part of this and addressing all of those different things. That's a very complicated thing to do, which obviously did very well. So on Sunday, talking about that, you know, the dancers, let's explain to everybody, you know, just that part of it, just what they can experience when they come down there and see this.
Sure. Well, we have programming throughout the day, and it's bracketed by 2 performances by a group of dancers from Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Fancy Dancers. And they were one of 2 groups that were invited to participate in our programming in Venice. Specifically, Jeffrey was really interested in having women dancing the jingle dress dance. And the dress is really a symbol of healing and community. And it actually is featured in one of the video works in the installation in Venice. So it has that connection. And I think it also, you know, I think it's really an expression of cultural persistence and also modernity. I mean, this is a dance that came into being in the 20th century. So, you know, his work speaks to the past, but it is very much about the present and Native people being here today.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just commenting that's really great.
Yeah. I really also want to mention that this was really a collaboration between 2 museums supporting the project. So the other museum is Site Santa Fe. And we definitely wanted to have programming and participation from folks in New Mexico as well as Oregon. Jeffrey felt very strongly that we have a strong education program. And so one of the things we're going to be talking about on Sunday is this education program that is bringing together a group of teachers from New Mexico and from Oregon. They've been attending all the programming and learning about the exhibit. They've been to Venice. Some of them have been twice, and they're developing curriculum for teachers to use in K through 12 classrooms in both states. And then we also have another collaboration with the National Museum of the American Indian, and they're working on developing a new module for an online teacher resources tool that's titled Native Knowledge 360. And so the teachers have also been contributing to developing that new module that will help teachers to teach about Native American art and Jeffrey's work.
Wow, that's amazing. So and education is such a big part of it. You know, I guess let me ask you that really. How important do you think education is in the arts for these students and for younger people and really adults as well to be learning about?
Yeah, I think that art can do so many things for us. You know, it can really help people address topics that are otherwise difficult to understand. But I think for Native American art, I think it's really important for students today to be educated about Native people and Native culture. And it should be much more than, you know, one lesson plan in 4th grade, you know, or 2nd grade, where you learn about the Native people in your state, you know. And I think that, you know, it can also be incorporated into regular art studies. So I think that we're really trying to contribute to those resources for students in our 2 states, but also across the nation.
And I love making it more accessible too. You know, this would make it more something that people can access and be a part of. And to that extent, you know, for this exhibit and for what's going on Sunday, you know, for people who come down there, you put in all this work on curating this along with Jeffrey. What is it that you would like people to take away from? What do you kind of feeling do you want them to have once they see this and really experience all of this?
Well, I would really like them to just be so excited that Portland, through the Portland Art Museum, participated in this incredible international experience and showcase. And I think it's really showing the world how important the work is that we do here in Portland. You know, we are on this bigger stage now. And, you know, we realize that only a small fraction of people from Oregon State could make it to the Biennale. And quite a few did. I was really impressed with how many people really made the effort to get there. It was so special. But we just want them to even just experience a fraction of the excitement and joy that we had in presenting this work in Venice. And we're going to have a lot of images, incredible documentation of the project, but also to hear the singers and experience the dancers in person, not just in, in a documentary film or something like that. You get a taste of it, and you can also get a little bit of gelato too. So that's always a plus.
Nice. Even if you can't make it to Venice, still get some gelato. So
yeah.
Well, Kathleen, anything else that you think is really important for people to know?
I just have to say that I'm incredibly grateful that I've had this opportunity. We had incredible partners. We had 3 commissioners on this project, including Luis Grouchos from Site Santa Fe, and it was his second Biennale, believe it or not. He was the director of Site Santa Fe when they presented Robert Colescott in the 90s. So there's and then we have Colescott's connection here in Portland, and just having those relationships continuing is incredible. And then I had a co-curator named Abigail Winograd, who's based in Chicago. And it was a very national experience for something that we worked on. So.
Awesome. I mean, and all that right there on Sunday, people can come down and see this and celebrate all the hard work that you did in representing the United States as well in Venice. I mean, just really incredible. Thanks so much for having some time to talk with us about it.
Great. Hope to see you Sunday.
Absolutely. All right. Again, thank you to Kathleen and the Portland Art Museum for joining us for that segment. So this Sunday, November 24th, is when they have free day, but of course there's always exhibits year-round for you to go check out there. And thanks for checking out Fox 12 Now. If this is your first time, you can find us, all of our segments on our YouTube channel at kptv.com under the Fox 12 Now tab, or those Fox 12 Oregon apps, all places to watch us live as well. And we are live every weekday throughout the afternoon. And if there's breaking news, this is a great place to go as well, because we'll have that for you anytime outside of our other newscasts. But we're going to take a break now. We will be back today. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.